Onpassive, is it bigger than you think it is? We have people coming into Onpassive every day right now, and the new people, they don't quite understand the magnitude of Onpassive. It's massive. But I also have some people that have been in Onpassive for quite a while, some 3 or 4 months, some 6 months, some a year, and they still don't understand the magnitude of Onpassive and how it's going to affect their bottom line, because in the end, that's all that's important. That's why we're here, to take care of that bottom line, that residual income, that walkaway money. And I'd like to talk about a couple of things today that I really have never touched on before. And they're kind of out in the open. They've always been there, but I've never talked about them before, and neither does anyone else. And these two things will give you an idea of how Onpassive is going to affect you. Really, really important. But they're really a big deal. And the amount of volume that I'm going to discuss is really off the chart. And I want to talk about something that's going to be happening as Onpassive launches to the world. This year, 2020, that's when it's scheduled to launch. And as we look at Onpassive, there will be companies out there that will come in, get on the automated marketing platform for the traffic. And here's an example of what's going to happen. Let's say there's an individual out there and she has started a manufacturing plant. And let's just pull a product out of the air. Let's say it's toilet paper, TP. And she's really, really good. She's got this down pat. She started the manufacturing company. She produces a superior product. And with any product, obviously, once you manufacture it, you've got to sell it. You've got to put it out on the market and bring in as many customers' eyes as you can. Whatever niche you're in, it's very, very competitive out there. And this individual, because she needs more customers, comes to Onpassive. And she goes, listen, can I put my manufacturing plant, what we manufacture, toilet paper, on the automated marketing platform, and can you run traffic for me? Okay? Legit business, superior product. She's done a great job. She just needs to get eyes in front of what she's doing. And obviously, Onpassive is going to go, absolutely, go ahead, bring it in. We'll start to drive traffic for you, and we're going to make a difference. We're going to get good, qualified eyes in front of your product. Once they start to use your product, we know they will never leave because you're that good. Okay? So that's going to start to happen. Onpassive will drive traffic for this individual, for her manufacturing plant, and they will get eyes in front of her products. Here's the catcher. Onpassive, as it launches to the world, we're going to have probably over 300,000 individuals in Onpassive. Okay? This individual has brought a superior product into Onpassive. They are now on the Onpassive platform, the Onpassive ecosystem. So those individuals that participate with Onpassive, that have come in, obviously become customers first, then independent resellers of the IT products, we have the opportunity to look at that product and buy it if we want. And here's how it works. As we look at toilet paper, TP, I do not go to the store and buy that anymore. In my family, we buy that online. We put the order online, and then one of the retailers sends the products to us. We don't waste our time going to the store and buying TP, toilet paper. We just don't do it. And I would imagine that there are a lot of families out there that do the same thing. They go grocery shopping, they do other things, but buying TP at the stores isn't one of those things. And what's going to happen to this manufacturing, this plant that this lady has built and developed? They're in Onpassive, and we're going to see that product. We're going to find out that it's a superior product. And all of a sudden, the individuals in Onpassive are going to be buying their toilet paper from this manufacturer. And she's going to be just like all the other manufacturers. If she gets orders online, she's going to fill those orders and mail them to us. Now, when we look at Onpassive, initially, as we launch to the world, I believe it's going to be over 300,000 people. So what is that going to do for that individual selling TP online to her bottom line? Obviously, it's going to increase. Now here's where it gets really, really interesting. Onpassive is going to launch to the world with 300,000 people, okay? I believe by the end of the first year, it's going to be millions. Could be 10, could be 20, could be 50, could be 100 million people. Now you've got 100 million people in Onpassive on the Onpassive ecosystem that have the ability to look at her product and buy. All of a sudden, she goes from needing customers to having to build another plant. That's how powerful this is. Now, I don't tell you this so that we show the success of this individual coming online, coming on the automated marketing platform, and being extremely successful because of Onpassive. I tell you this because it's one company using Onpassive to drive traffic on the Onpassive ecosystem, and then having a mass market, not including the traffic Onpassive is going to be driving, but having a market of 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 million customers that she can get in touch with. This is absolutely massive. And why I tell you this story, it's because of the volume. And I know Ash and his team, they're so ingenious. They've already thought about this. They know as these big manufacturing companies come online, start to use Onpassive, and people start to buy their product from Onpassive because it's good. And Onpassive, they're not going to let junk on their platform. They're not going to let junk on. These are going to be good, qualified companies with great products. And what that does for you and I as individuals that have come in and are participating with Onpassive, the volume literally goes through the roof. This is a really, really big deal. It's not something that anybody talks about. It's been out there. Marty, Dan, and I, we've talked about this many, many times. And when we see the type of volume that's going to be coming in, it's just mind-boggling. But let me give you another quick scenario, just very, very quickly. Let's say there's a Mercedes dealer out there, somewhere out there. Let's say they're in the United States. Doesn't matter where. And I like Mercedes. And let's say I'm going to buy a Mercedes. They've come out with a model, and it's just sharp as a tack. I mean, it's just really, really a great looking car. And obviously, Mercedes, they build a good vehicle. And this seller of the Mercedes, he's in Onpassive. And I go there and I find him, and I write him a note, and I say, listen, I'm interested in the latest model. Your Mercedes model is a sports car, whatever it is. And it's $70,000, $80,000. And I'm really interested. What can you do for me? And this car dealer goes, well, we can give it to you for this price. Now, I know what I can get the car for because I've done the research, and I go back, I'd really like it for this price. Can you do that? Not only that, can you ship it to me? And the guy's going to write back, yeah, we can do that price. It's a good price, and we're going to add $500 for shipping. And I go, that's great. So I go into, this is really, really cool. I go into my Onpassive account, okay? And there could be $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 in there. And I pull out $70,000. I send it right to the dealership. He does the paperwork, sends it back to me. I do everything online, and he ships the car to me. This scenario, I believe, will happen over and over and over again as more manufacturers, as more businesses see what Onpassive can do for them. These people are going to want a piece of Onpassive. We are going to have such a massive market coming into Onpassive. Our market in the world is 4.5 billion people. And we're going to get a lot of those because there will be something in Onpassive that everybody needs, whether it's a total business solution, whether it's a total personal solution. And then when you start thinking about the businesses that will come online for the traffic of Onpassive, but also for the market of Onpassive, when we've got 100 million people in Onpassive, and they can get their product in front of those eyes. This is a really, really big deal. It's why as Ash started to envision Onpassive and develop Onpassive, everything that's happening today is not by mistake. And Onpassive launching to the world as a unicorn company or shortly thereafter, this is not a mistake. The clout and the leverage that we have, Onpassive launching to the world, is so massive and it will grow every month, every year. And by the end of the first year, I can't even imagine where we're going to be. I can, but I can't talk about it. It's huge, guys. It's huge. So as you think about Onpassive, as you think of what they're going to be doing, as you think about the volume on Passive, if you don't quite get it yet, maybe this will help you a little bit. Because we have a lot of people in Onpassive, they still don't know the magnitude of Onpassive. And everything that I've talked about right now, it's bigger than that. There are things I can't talk to you about. They're massive. And when you think about 100 or 2 or 3 or 400,000 people in Onpassive, it's doable, guys. And when you start to understand the other products of Onpassive that we can't talk about right now, they are proprietary. Ash doesn't want us to talk about them right now. When you start to understand and learn about these products, it's just massive. And we're here. We're here to take care of that bottom line, to take care of that financial future, to take care of those financial burdens and not have to worry about it again. This is why Onpassive is so unique. This is why Onpassive is revolutionary. And this is why us as a founder, we're just in such a great position. I don't believe there's a founder today, or there'll be a founder in the next 3 or 4 months as they come on and Onpassive launches the world. You don't have to worry about finances. That's my own opinion based on what I see. It's massive. If you're new to Onpassive, maybe this is the first video you've ever watched and you want to know a little bit more about Onpassive, the video I uploaded before this one is a webinar. It's about an hour long, but if you watch the first 15 minutes of that webinar, I go over Onpassive, what it is, what it does, and how it can affect your life in a really, really positive way. Run over to the last video I did before this one. It's a webinar. It's very, very good. I believe once you start watching it, you're probably going to watch the whole hour. But 15 minutes will give you a really good example of what we're doing, why we're doing it, and more importantly, how it can affect you. So this is Onpassive. If you're not sure how big Onpassive is, it's bigger than you think. It's bigger than I think. There are things I don't even know yet. Ash hasn't shared them with us. This is massive. It will change lives. I believe it'll change the world. And we see that happening on with some of the people on our team. They're not only changing their community, they're changing their whole country. That's really, really exciting. So come on in. If you haven't explored Onpassive, go on over and take a look at the last webinar. If you are in Onpassive, get very, very excited. Scheduled to launch this year, 2020. And as it launches, believe me, it's bigger than you think. And as we get into that launch, yeah, there's just going to be a lot of happy people in Onpassive because they came in, they paid the founder's fee, which is a $97 fee, got locked into Onpassive, got locked into the pay structure, and from there, yeah, it's just lights out. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, I recommend you do that. Click the bell on the right. You'll get notifications as I do more videos. We will have a webinar this coming Thursday. Ash, if he has any updates, will give us those updates, and obviously we'll share them with you. We're getting stuff just about every day now. Very, very exciting stuff. Onpassive is moving very, very quickly because we're so close to the launch. So yeah, just get ready. Make sure you subscribe. We're going to have more information for you. And from there, yeah, we're absolutely going to see you at the top. Take care. Have a great week. And we'll chat later in the week. Bye.